the bottom line, do something that's the same. I'll get you some right there for you. Thank you, Nancy.
This just means like it's the biggest sink in the bathroom.
Whatever.
Yes, yes. This is good footage, ladies. Keep it up.
Thank
Go ahead. You want the American title?
Thank
you come through.
She answered that question. That's the one I didn't have to get out.
No, that was perfect though, because that's true. We were scared shitless. We was like, what we doing? We finally did it.
Business closing on y'all house. What's
Hey. 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 Thank you.
I gotta calm down. So y'all know y'all on another show from start to finish. We definitely talked about this from the beginning, and so glad that that you guys was a part of this. Not only a part of this, but that I'm a part of y'all's journey. That's the most important thing, and I'm so glad to be a part of that. And you know that though that y'all finished signing, this is not the end for us. This is actually the beginning, because I'm gonna continue calling you guys, checking you guys, and see how y'all doing, see what's going on. You know, is the Razorbacks winning?
Definitely.
Yeah, what do they got going on? And so, but anyway, so with that, within our show, we try to ask a couple of questions, get y'all guys' opinion, your feelings, your comments, your testimonies, and everything like that. I got a special gift from John Osborne, you know, a customized gift. You know, someone told me they like Tito.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So, you know, that's a little something. But,
Thank
you know,
you. Thank
definitely,
you.
Definitely thankful for them to be a part of my team or whatever. So anyway, I guess I'll just take me a little sit on down here. So the first question I wanted to ask you guys is, what is one thing that you guys can remember from your journey in this home ownership phase?
I would say starting out in the beginning, being scared, being very scared at the beginning of the process, getting into this new market, finding out about how the market was. That was one of the biggest things I can say I will remember, being scared in the beginning. But by the time it came to an end, I wasn't near as scared as far as just stressed out behind it, you know?
Okay. Okay, so I definitely appreciate that. That was really, really good. Do you have something,
I think
Mrs. Johnston?
my the fondest memory was just jumping into this process and thinking, where are we gonna live? You know, luckily we're empty nesters, hallelujah. So I was like, you know what? I can move anywhere. We can live anywhere. And so I think once I kind of got my bearings together and I wasn't, you know, solely focused on a sure area within the Metroplex, I was like, we're going to leave this opportunity open and just kind of see where the market takes us.
Good, good, good. And it took you guys to Cedar Hill?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The good old Cedar Hill.
Cedar Hill. Good old. So the next question I have for you guys is, what is one thing or two or whatever, what is one thing that you guys can give to future homeowners when it comes to them wanting to buy or thinking about buying?
Mm-hmm. Want me to answer that first? Okay, I would want to really make everyone aware to make sure that you get everything together. Get your ducks in a row, i.e. credits, kind of get an idea of how you might want to establish your budget, saving for your down payment, so that there's not a huge burden or stress of the monies that might be needed when it comes to closing, and just kind of allowing yourself that opportunity to be able to breathe comfortably, and just making sure that you're prepared. That would be my biggest suggestion.
Being that it's close to Father's Day, I would let our husbands know. The biggest question I would ask that no one really goes over with and teach you about is looking at the taxes and what area that you're buying the home. A lot of people go in and we were so busy and focused on what the mortgage was on the home. And you're like, oh, I can afford that mortgage, but it's the taxes that pushes your mortgage above what most families plan on paying for a mortgage. So I would say get with your realtor, see whoever the appraiser guy, anybody you can get with to find out the amount of taxes in the home. If it's a new area, will the taxes be going up by? Can they give you an estimate of how much they think the taxes will go up? But as a guy, I would tell you to watch out for your family. Make sure you pay attention to those taxes because those are one of the two things that could fluctuate the cost of your mortgage every month.
Good answer, man.
Good answer. Well, y'all such a teamwork with this thing.
Hey, you gonna let me hang?
And last but not least, this is probably like the most crucial question I can ask you. What would be your testimony when it comes to how I did as your realtor, even with Wallach and Bulk, Mr. Benny Robinson as your loan officer? What are some things you guys can maybe be helpful, or just to help if someone else is thinking about working with us? What would y'all tell?
One thing I would say was when we got into this process, we spoke with several different realtors to see. We kind of did like buying a car. We went through several different people to see who was best fitted for us. And the one thing about him was a lot of people we talked to, we told them what we wanted to spend. One lady told me that was a single mother's income that I was trying to buy a house for. They told me that I was going to have to live out in middle of Denton, way out in the middle of nowhere when I wanted to live in the Metroplex. And when I got with Maurice, there was no. Only thing he asked me was, "What are you looking for, and what is your budget?" I told him what I wanted. I told him what my budget was. He never came to me and was like, "Oh my God, that's crazy." He took what I asked him for. He sent me those homes. Every day he had a list. It was a list for us to look at and choose every day. We would put hearts on the ones we liked, get rid of the ones we didn't. He would we would get a look at that house, and we could see that the houses that we were choosing with the budget we was choosing at first was not what we wanted. But he never came to me and said, "Well, you got to up your money." He let me make that decision, and me and my wife came to that decision together, and we decided to up our money. Then he was like, "Okay, so let me show you guys this." Then he showed me a different level of houses, and that's how he never made me feel pressured on what I wanted to get. He let me choose what I wanted the entire time. I was easy to get in contact with him. We would shoot him a text message. It wouldn't be 3 to 5 minutes at the most. He would return, and then he always returned it with a phone call. It never was just a text message back.
Even late at night.
Yeah,
Remember?
he was always accessible. So those are like the two things I can say where a lot of my friends, I know they had realtors, they couldn't contact their realtor whenever they needed. Like out of a 7-day week, we would get a call at least 4 days a week. Good morning, family. How are you guys doing today?
Very professional.
You just didn't get that. He could answer a lot of our questions, and we could understand it. He made it in layman's terms for us, so we could understand the questions.
I appreciate that. I want to stay something. You got something?
Let me see if I can top that. But it's kind of going to be hard to do, seriously, on a serious note, because just being honest, my husband and I did kind of do our research with realtors, and my husband was like, "We're going Maurice," like hands down, because even out of the gate, first impression is everything, right? And just his conversation, he was very personable. He understood what our end goal was. He was straight to the point. What are you trying to accomplish? Where are you trying to move? What does your budget look like? What are the things that you're looking for in your home? And we really appreciated that. And throughout this process, he was so motivating and positive. Like, guys, it's okay. The right house is out there. And once you get that house, you will know it will be the perfect fit. And we were leaving brunch, right, on a Sunday, and we ate good. And then he called us and he was like, "What y'all doing? You got a house?" We was like, "What?" I started crying, and my husband was like, "Girl, calm down." But I can honestly say, like, I would totally, hands down, recommend him and Mr. Robinson. So just to kind of touch on that, Benny, what's up, boy? He is so nice. Like, Mr. Robinson made the whole process of like submitting documents to underwriting very personable as well, very straightforward. What underwriting is looking for, this is what we're going to need. I need it by this time. He was very accessible, easy to reach, easy to talk to.
He never got frustrated.
He never got frustrated with us. He was very patient with us. I think one day he was like, "Mrs. Johnson, it's all right. Hold on now. We're going to get it." Because I was, I'm human. I got a little in my feelings one day, but he got us on through it. And I thoroughly want to say Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Thank you, Mr. Lee, for everything you've done for the Johnsons. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Well, I mean, can I get a round of applause for this? Because, I'm trying to tell you. Well, I thank you once again. Y'all make me stumble. I'm so honored. I'm like, this is just something that I truly love doing, from start to finish.
Right.
And you guys have been taken care of from start to finish. And we're just going to end out with a or something like, how they do that dance? Like, I mean, you know.
I don't know. That's what my son them do. Hey, something like that.
I'm gonna have it down on the next episode. Really, I just wanted to lead you into the next video. So I didn't want to be trying to look like I'm messing up. Next one, I'm having it down. So, once again, you have been helped from start to finish.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Thanks a lot, man.
yeah, appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Maurice.